Hello, and on behalf of Premiant City Tour and Hop On Hop Off, welcome on board our boat Classic River. An assistant will be available during this cruise. When describing the monuments, we will be indicating their position on the right or on the left bank of the river. The left bank is more hilly and green with gardens and public parks. The right bank will be, all the time you are on board, lower and flat, but full of big buildings. If you look at the water's surface, you can see the current of the river. During the first part of our cruise, the boat will be moving upstream, and after passing under the Charles Bridge, we will turn and sail downstream. Our cruise will finish at the same pier where we are starting now, i.e. again at the right bank. Over our pier, there is a large structure with a big green dome and the national flag. This is the Trade and Industry Ministry of the Czech Republic. The majestic neo-Baroque palace on the left bank is called Strakova Academy, or Strakova Academy in Czech. After its completion in 1896, it served as a student residence for the sons of poor Czech aristocratic families. During more than 100 years of its existence, it changed its function many times, including being the seat of government for the German Protectorate from 1939 until 1945. After the Second World War, Strakova Academy became the official seat of the government of the former Czechoslovakia and now houses the government of the Czech Republic. Rare Christian relics, artistic treasures, and historical documents are all stored in Prague Castle. Its architectural form is the result of the work of several architects, also contemporary. The President's office, thus is not generally admissible for the public. However, a large part of the Prague Castle is set aside for museums, exhibition rooms, and thus is open to everyday visitors. In addition to museums and galleries, it is also possible to visit the old royal palace, St. George's Basilica, some parts of the old fortification system, the enchanting Golden Lane, and of course, the majestic St. Vitus's Cathedral. The grounds of the castle complex resemble a small town, surrounded by gardens in the middle of the city. As you may have heard, it is the largest castle complex in the world. It spreads over an area of 45 hectares and, as such, is listed in the Guinness Book of Records. The bridge ends with the twin lesser-town bridge towers. The lower of them is a remainder of the old Judith Bridge, which was constructed in the same place in the second half of the 12th Since the 1960s, the Charles Bridge has been used only for pedestrians. On the southern side of the bridge, there are so-called ice barriers. Wooden planks with the function of protecting the bridge against possible ice losses in early spring or against blockage of the bridge arches at the time of flooding. In recent decades, floodings have been quite frequent in our country. You are now on the most beautiful part of the river in Prague. Here, at the southern side of the Charles Bridge, we are now approaching one of the several dams on the river. There are more in Prague, and also outside the city, to slow down the current, raise the water level, and hereby make the Vltava navigable in the whole capital and 60 kilometers farther south. At each of these dams, there is a lock for boats to change elevation on the river. Here, the access to the lock is indicated by a line of yellow paintworks, which at night are shining. The building nearby, once a water mill, houses now a gallery of modern art, the Kampa Museum. Kampa is the park that you see, with palm trees behind the long wall adjoining to the Kampa Museum. It is an artificially created island on the Vltava in lesser town. It is separated from the left bank by Czechova, the Devil's Stream, a man-made mill race that starts at the next bridge, and the beginning of which you will see after passing back through the Charles Bridge. From Kampa Island, you can pass through the narrow canal, also called Little Venice, on a small footbridge, and you would see the only and the last preserved mill there, with a moving wheel. Nearby, there is John Lennon's wall, with the imaginary grave of the famous Beatle. The biggest of the buildings on Kampa, with the windows looking towards the river, is Liechtenstein Palace, a hotel accommodating only VIPs, mostly official political guests of Prague and of the Czech Republic. On the opposite side of the dam, more distant and situated at the next bridge on the right bank with a golden crown on the roof, is the National Theatre, one of 3 opera houses in Prague. The group of buildings at the Old Town Bridge Tower, also on the right bank but on this side of the dam, served as water-powered mills in the Old Town as recently as the end of the 19th century. Coming closer, you would see water streaming under the houses. In the most impressive one of them, on the corner, closer to you, there is now a museum of the Czech composer Smetana. The statue is situated outside the museum. The wooden trunks and the pillars of the Charles Bridge, as said before, function as icebreakers. In fact, during the last decades, the river has frozen very rarely, but nearby Prague there is a smaller and shallower river called Rara-chan, which flows into the Vltava River. This river often freezes during winter, and in early spring, when it melts, ice floes are brought to Prague by the water of the river. approaching Manasuk Bridge, built in the place of the former iron footbridge. Today's structure was started during the First World War and bears the name of the important Czech painter Josef
To víš, to já se obětuju, abys měla hezké záběry.
This beautiful building on the right bank of the river is called the Rudolph. It is one of the most important structures in Prague, built in the 19th century. The concert hall dates back to 1876 and was designed by the same architect who constructed the National Theatre, Josef Strakova. Later called the House of Art, it served as a music hall and exhibition premises for the fine arts. After the foundation of an independent Czechoslovakia, the Rudolph, or decade, became the seat of Vltava川. Now it's home to the Czech Philharmonic and the Rudolph Gallery. Each day, the music festival in Prague Spring takes place here. This section of the city is also known for the concentration of schools, Faculty of Arts of the Czech University, and Faculty of Nuclear Sciences of the Czech Technical University, the Prague Conservatory, the High School for Medical Nurses, the Academy of Fine Arts, and, at the Iron Chekhov Bridge, the Faculty of Law.